Hello there and a warm welcome to the Big Q. It is a new year and bigger things lie ahead for all of us. I'm Imemule Katete Kalema, your host, and in the studios today, I'm joined by the brains behind Never Again, a peace-building organization that was founded in the response against genocide that was perpetrated in Rwanda against the Tutsis, and that was 1994, about 22 years ago. It promotes human rights, advocates for peace, and also it aims to empower Rwandans and communities to become active citizens through peace building and development. Dr. Joseph Nkurunziza, nice to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Now, what does Never Again stand for?
Thank you. Basically, after the Jewish Holocaust in 1945, the world had said never again. But it was unfortunate that after 50 years, genocide against the Tutsi took place in 1994. So the reason why we decided using this name is to make Never Again a reality through empowering young people so that they can become young leaders and be conscious of conflicts and also be promoters of human rights so that genocide should never happen again.
And what does it represent in as far as Rwanda's history is concerned?
Of course, it represents the legacy of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, and also it started given the history of what Rwanda went through.
This is a platform where our audiences sets questions to you, our leaders. And I'm going to start with Florence Anna. Never Again runs on a vision of a future that enjoys sustainable peace. Do you think this is achievable?
Yeah, sustainable peace is achievable as long as there is visionary leaders who can help the government to have strong institutions and also to enforce rule of law. So with visionary leaders who can contribute towards building strong institutions and then enforcing rule of law, then sustainable peace, I would say that 95% it would be achievable.
And when do you envisage a time when our continent, later on the world, will have visionary leaders?
That's very interesting, but it's a good ambition and it's a good dream, but then it's our responsibility to make sure that we empower the leaders of today and also the leaders of tomorrow, so that they can serve their people. They can serve those that voted them into offices, and also they can work beyond self, so that we can enjoy that peace. But the moment we don't empower the future generation or the leaders of today with proper skills regarding leadership and also governance issues, then we can't dream of the globe enjoying peace or having sustainable peace. If there is always dialogue, then we would be hopeful that the leaders of today are going to be serving those they lead. But you find that in most countries, leaders don't listen to those they lead. And some countries missed the opportunities of having these platforms where citizens and leaders meet and iron out the differences, or maybe share the visions on how they see different things, which can be addressed so that people can lead to prosperity. Okay,
now another question from Annette K. What are the parameters of your operation? Can you do cross-border? And she says the reason is because a wave of violence and massacre is happening at our watch in neighboring Burundi. As you champion for Never Again genocide or any intentional brutality against humanity, what have you done or what haven't you done?
Yeah, of course, Never Again, we started from a humble beginning. It's now it's coming to 14 years. It's an organization that was started by youth who are students in 2002. And our operation was within Kigali. Yep. But then after a few years, we extended to 5 districts. Now we are operating throughout 15 districts.
In the country? In
the country. But we do also have a regional program where we have peace-related activities with youth and also citizens from the DRC and also from Burundi.
Okay.
So coming back to what is, it's just very unfortunate that the world is watching.
Yep.
And yet people are dying in our
neighboring
Burundi.
Yes.
So it's just unfortunate. So that shows that there's a lot that is needed to be done. So what we've done is that we are trying to inform the decision makers and also to inform the international systems that have been put in place to monitor genocide, and also institutions that are involved in conflict prevention. So we've done that, but I personally, I'm championing a campaign called Umva Burundi.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah. So we are trying to alert young people about what is happening in Burundi. We've alerted the UN. Okay. We've alerted the AU. We've alerted the East African community. But of course, the world is not just. So it requires people it requires some individuals to go beyond self and have things addressed. But when it comes to international systems, there's lots of different interests.
Yep.
And human life to them at least doesn't make sense. So,
and what do you think is needed to pacify our country, our fellow brothers in Burundi?
So I think what is needed at the moment, people should stop having these meetings and discussions. There's need for an intervention to save the innocent lives. The A should send in peacekeepers so that the citizens can be protected. That's the only way. That's the only thing that should be done. But as I'm reading and following what is happening, you find that people are just seated having meetings. These meetings in Nairobi, they're talking of Arusha, then maybe they'll talk of South Africa, and people are dying.
You're very right. And there have been many questions about what is democracy, how is it applied, and does the population know what it is in any case? And that is a question that was sent by one of our audience. But before you answer it, we now take a very short break and we'll be right back still with Dr. Joseph Nkurunziza from Never Again Rwanda. Welcome back. You're still watching the BQ, and in case you want to give a comment or anything, any suggestion, do not forget you can go on Twitter and send us at RTV English or my Twitter handle at Morime. The hashtag is the BQ. You can even go on Facebook at RTV English or at Imi Molekatete, and you send us any of your comments or even any question as we continue with our discussion with Dr. Joseph Nkurunziza from Never Again. Nice to still have you here with us.
Thank you.
Now, we were talking about democracy, that big word. I call it a big word because no one seems to have a definite meaning of what democracy is. One of our viewers, Rhoda M, says, what is democracy and how can it be applied? Does the population know what that is anyway?
Yeah, you're right. As you say that democracy is a very big word, and also it means a lot. Yep. But in short, democracy is a form of government where its leaders are voted by the people.
Okay.
2, democracy is also a form of government where the citizens are part and parcel of the development, or maybe they participate in the affairs of that government. 3, democracy is a form of government where its leaders respect the fundamental rights of its population. So to me, that's democracy. So when it comes, if citizens know what is democracy, and also if maybe they're enjoying
their democratic rights.
Their democratic rights. That's also another issue, because it also depends on the level of understanding that these citizens have. So, majority of African countries, the citizens are not 100% literate.
Yep.
So you find that maybe those who can read and write, they're 80%. But those we would call literate, those who have scientific reasoning, the critical analysis, maybe they are 20.
Yes, Doctor, before you continue, the reason why I'm raising this question is because under the mandate of Never Again is to foster democracy and rights among the citizens of Rwanda. Do you think the Rwandan community knows what democracy is, and do we actually enjoy democracy in your personal perspective?
Yeah, I think in my personal opinion is that Never Again is trying to enlighten and also teach citizens what is democracy.
Sure. And
how democracy can be entrenched into our day-to-day lives. So people are getting to understand what is democracy, because as I said, democracy is a form of government where people vote the leaders.
Yep.
So we vote, and as you had over the weekend, I read the National Electoral Commission sent out an announcement that those who are interested in joining the administrative councils and also the mayorship, people should send in their candidates, so that citizens in different villages can be able to vote their leaders.
Yeah.
So at least that step has been achieved. People understand that we need to vote in our leaders. So the journey is long, but at least I'm very confident that now citizens know the democratic right.
And I'm going to put you in that chair again. Never Again does research, right? Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do we stand? Where does Rwanda stand as far as democracy is concerned?
I think it is 7 out of 10.
And what needs to be done for us to achieve the 10 out of 10? Yeah,
what needs to be done is to keep empowering the citizens, and also trying to empower citizens so that they can hold their leaders accountable.
Sure.
Not to stop at voting, but also holding them accountable. That this is what you promised to deliver. Where have you reached? And also the leaders to have at the back of their mind that I'm answerable to those who voted for me. 3, to create, the forums are there.
Yeah.
So the leaders need to go down and have that open dialogue with those they lead, and discuss on the achievements and the shortcomings, and try to have the citizens and also the leaders at the same footing.
Very good. That seems to answer the question of Kwizamara, who says, what has been done to minimize the vertical space between the beneficiaries of public policies and decision makers? I don't know if you would want to add on anything on that particular thing.
Yeah, honestly, what I can say that the government has at least tried its best. It has created platforms. There is the national dialogue conference that takes place. There is the government retreat. There is also the community meetings, Umuganda, etc. We have those platforms. But as I said, that we need to empower citizens so that they can be able to utilize these platforms and hold their leaders accountable, so that they can be able to embrace the entire scope of democracy. But
as you answer that question, also as looking at another question that is also intertwined into more or less the forums and platforms that have been created to empower community members to discuss their rights and their responsibilities in policy and program making. That is a question that was raised by Anisha and Didas, and you're talking about the platforms and the forums. But the question is, are the community members or are the citizens are they gripping onto these platforms that have been created to ensure that they understand more about what policies are made and what they mean to them and what importance they hold in their lives?
You know, the Rwandan people have been eroded with the culture of obedience, respecting their leaders too much.
Okay.
Whereby they even fear to question them. So there are still some tendencies, and there are still some leaders who enjoy that.
But what do you think has caused that?
Yeah, so
there must be a reason why they are over-respecting, and I think that's what we should be addressing.
So that's what Never Again has been doing with the young people. They organize the debates. Debates is one way of creating critical thinking, so that you can be able to outline your points, but also listen to your counterpart. And also in the process, you develop that critical thinking. Two, they're also working with the local leaders. They've created these citizen forums where citizens in these 15 districts that I was talking about meet with their leaders and discuss. So through those forums, and also through the debates, and also through the youth clubs, there is youth and the citizens at large are being empowered to at least see their leaders as people who are supposed to serve them. So the reason why this obedience and also over respecting leaders, it has been in our history. From respecting the king, then respecting the leaders, and also leaders exploited it so that they can be able to achieve their own interests. Selfishness. But now, with the current leaders we have, at least, as I say, that the government has some forums, and we've seen leaders at least listening to the citizens.
Now, Doctor, let me take you to something you talked about earlier, the Peacebuilding Program, the biannual for regional and both international participants. And Bujingo James, you invite a handful of youth from a handful of countries, yet many youth seem to be the major vessels and drivers for the wrong motives of our leaders today in various countries. How does this help solve the conflicts on our continent later on in the world vis-a-vis the limited number of youth that you invite for the 2 weeks workshop or training?
Yes, he's right. We invite almost around 20 young people. But all the activities that Never Again does is based on the resources that have been provided by different partners.
Okay.
And also I would acknowledge some partners that have been supporting our activities. So it all goes with the budget. But maybe what I can say before I go back to his question, I hope you're a believer and maybe you're a Christian.
Yes.
Jesus had 12 disciples.
Yes.
And now the world has more than 2 billion Christians.
Okay.
So what matters is how you've mentored those few youth that have got the opportunity to come and be part of the Peacebuilding Institute. What skills have these people gained? What commitment have are they taking back to their respective countries so that they can become peace ambassadors?
Okay.
Because if you see that the work that was done by the 12 disciples,
it's tremendous.
It's tremendous.
Yeah.
So that's the philosophy that drives us. It's not the number, but it's the skills that these young people are being empowered with.
So you believe that that paradigm can breed you enough global peace makers or changers?
Yeah, so we are trying to mobilize the resources to talk to few partners and also some goodwill people so that we can be able to increase on the number of participants. But yeah, but so far, for those at least ever since the Peacebuilding Institute started, 150 young people have gone through this program, and given the reports and the updates on what we do have an alumni group, and we see that at least there is a positive impact. Like now, for example, the people who are part of this campaign regarding what is happening in Burundi, some of them are PBI alumni. Okay. So you see that they are conscious about peace, and they are conscious on monitoring where conflicts are taking place. Very
good. Asim Ngelaki, running on the theme, what can Rwanda teach the world? Okay, he asks, what has Rwanda learned from the world?
I think what Rwanda has learned from the world is that you have to determine your destiny. Okay. Two is that the world is not just. There, as I said in the beginning, there are lots of different dynamics. There are lots of different interests. So if you don't follow into those interests, so no one is going to take care of you. Yep. So that's what Rwanda has learned from the world, and that has shaped the Rwandan society to work towards the betterment of their country, and that's why you see the development that the country has achieved. It has learned from the world that if you don't stand up and work for your own destiny, so no one is going to care about you.
Very good. Now, still about the conference, the PBI conference, you take participants through a theoretical understanding of the genocide history and prevention, transitional justice and peace building. Now, scaling it back to Rwanda, Livingstone O, how confident are you that in case of any propaganda or ideology that circulates in Rwanda today, youths wouldn't be caught at the crossroads of perpetrating a genocide again?
Yeah. You see, genocide takes place if there is no strong systems in place. Two, if there is no rule of law. Three, if there is any part of the society that is marginalized. Okay. Five, if citizens of any particular country are not sharing the national cake. Yeah. If the national cake is given to a certain fraction of people. So when you look through that, at least we don't have such things in Rwanda. So young people have, or maybe all citizens have equal opportunities when it comes to education. People compete for jobs. and those who pass get jobs. Within the 30 districts, I don't think that there is any district that has been denied opportunities, or maybe it has no access to infrastructure, has no access to basic needs, etc. Such things are not happening. So then when it comes to indoctrination, so that youth can be violent, that's not happening. Because genocide happened in this country because citizens and young people had been indoctrinated for almost 32 years to hate Tutsis, to think that Tutsis are snakes, etc. But then after the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, people are being taught to live together. People are being taught to work hard so that they can achieve prosperity.
Sure.
So that needs more time, so that those poor ideologies that had been indoctrinated in the minds of the people can die off. And also, we have strong systems. The police is functioning. The judicial system is doing its work. So I wouldn't think that that there would be room for the young people turning into against each other just because someone has said XYZ. If you spread any genocidal ideology, or maybe any genocidal tendencies, you'll be taken to the books.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, enough of those questions about Never Again. We go personal. How does a doctor by profession, a physician, deal with all this civil society organization we see in Health Development Initiative, in Never Again, in Peacebuilding Institute? How do you juggle, how do you balance all that?
Yeah, so what I said in the beginning, that one has to determine your destiny.
Yeah.
2, how do you manage your time? So I always tell people that yeah, he's not the only person who has asked that. Everyone asks that. How do you do all this? I manage my time wisely. It's not civil service. It's not physician. You've also I'm also married with 3 kids. So
sure, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So how do I balance all that?
Yeah.
It's time management. And
what's your major drive actually to start all these organizations?
It's the passion of at least contributing to the society, because when we are young kids, when we would visit our grandparents in the refugee camps in Uganda, in a place called Toro, they would tell us that that we have our country, which is Rwanda, and this country was a country of milk and honey.
Yeah.
So we would be told that the day we shall go to our country, you guys, you need to work so that what made us refugees should never happen again. So that's the gospel that our grandparents used to preach. So I think that had an impact on me. Those were some of the triggers that maybe shaped me, yep, so that I can be able to develop that passion of at least contributing towards making a positive change in our society.
The last one, Doctor, my time is up, and my director making sure that I get to know that. You are honored as one of the 2010 Junior Chambers Outstanding Young Persons of the World in the category of contributing to children, justice, and human rights. Congratulations for that. I know it's already a few years past, but
yeah.
surely congratulations. How does it contribute to your efforts in fighting for peace, advocating for peace and also human rights?
Yeah, one is that at least it motivated me that whatever I'm doing, at least there are some people outside there who are watching the impact of the initiatives or maybe the activities that we've been able to set up. But also that award, I can't say that it's me alone,
yeah.
but it was due to the various efforts that my peers and also the staff at Never Again Rwanda and also the staff at Health Development Initiative that do on a daily basis. And also, so it's basically those staff that do the great work. So it was an award to the various efforts that are done by different individuals. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time on the BQ.
No, thank you, and you are always free to reach me if there is any other issue that you would want to discuss. So thank you.
Sure, and do not forget, many questions might come in on Twitter, and I hope you will be able to answer them. And that means in case you have any question, any comment, any suggestion, the conversation should continue on Twitter, and his Twitter handle is at Yarasa. I hope I'm right. Yarasa, meaning the sun has set, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you can follow him, or you can actually send him any question, or even at Never Again, or even at RTV English, at Arabia Rwanda, or at Mudime, and send your question and it can be answered. Anything that has to do with peace building program, peace building initiatives, human rights, and anything else. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your questions. I'm Imi Morekatete Kalema. Be well and be blessed.